And you want me to talk about Goldman Sachs? I did it for an hour yesterday. What did I get for it? I made more enemies. I made more enemies of some of the most powerful, wealthy people in the world who, as you know, put the stooge in as president. You think that a president is actually elected by you? You're crazy. The 1918 World Series were fixed by Arnold Rothstein, whatever his name was. So you're telling me that this last election was an honest election? I think the election in Iran was more honest than the election we had here, with thugs with clubs outside voting booths, and with Acorn voting 43 times, and with illegal aliens voting with no citizenship, for a man who many people say has no citizenship. Well, excuse me, not American citizenship. That's a big thing. I'm not involved in it, so I don't want to take credit for it. Many of you don't call on that. That's almost like saying UFOs now or abortion. Please, I did not say the word citizenship. Don't. If you're a birther, don't call me. Others are doing a very good job. No, I don't want to know about it. No, because the lights went just almost crazy. It went like a pinball machine on tilt. The red lights went crazy. All I got to do is say certain words. Obama's birth. Oh, there it is. Obama's, where was he born? That's it. There it goes. Well, Mike, glad you're aboard now. Yeah, really. Glad you're aboard now. We know that. How about abortion? Yeah. There it goes again. Or there are a couple other ones you can do. Gun. All I have to do is say gun. There used to be a guy, a talk show, very nice man, but he had a flaw, a fluke. Does he do shows anymore? Because I don't want to insult him. I'm not going to mention his name. But he was known in the industry that he was a very nice, stable guy. But if a caller said anything to do with airplane, fin, aileron, propeller, that was it. He was off and running for 3 hours about airplanes and the Air Force. In other words, it was like Manchurian Candidate with the card was thrown. You know what I'm saying? So if I say birth, that's it. That's the end of the show. Birther, Indonesia, magic words. Plunk your magic plunker, Froggy. Oh, God, I'm going to go into the heat and the humidity like a moron. I'm the best weather in the world right now. 65 degrees, cool, foggy. Where am I going on vacation? In the heat where you could die. A frog wants to get out of there this time of year. I don't know why I'm going. I have no idea why I'm going there. Well, because I'm not alone in the world. You can't just make arbitrary decisions. The water's 85 degrees in the Miami area right now. So many people who are semi-psychotic go to Florida in the summer. They say in order to go in the water. I have no idea why they want to go in the water when it's hot. All right, but they go in the water. You want to go in hot water, you go in a bathtub. But they say it's therapeutic, go in. It's warmer than the Caribbean right now because of the Gulf Stream and of global warming, yeah. Right, it's got warmer. The same temperature for the last 100 years. On a mean average, every month is more or less the same since they've been keeping temperatures. Don't tell that to Al Gore. But I have found a while ago that if you go into the ocean's a very dangerous place to swim in, by the way. People don't know that until the early part of the 1890s, nobody went in the ocean unless they were thrown off a fishing boat. People basically did not swim in the ocean. It was known as a dangerous place. Crabs, squid, jellyfish, sharks, no one went in. Unless they fell out of a canoe while they were chasing an ahi or a mahi. Nobody really wanted to go into the ocean. Then all of a sudden they started going in with those ugly bathing suits, which I really would hope come back, because I'm sick and tired of looking at everybody's body parts. I'd rather see ugly bathing suits with stripes. I don't know. What an undignified thing to wear, what they wear today. But, even when I was young, I didn't wear those things that they wear as a guy. What kind of guy wears those Speedo things? They're all sick in the head. I knew guys when I was a young man who wore Speedos, all crazy. Particularly the older guys. Their hair was a little longer and wore a Speedo, watch out. I remember when I was working at Shank's Paramount Hotel as a bus. I didn't mean to slip into this. All right, I slipped and slid into it. It's summertime, give me a break. I was a busboy a couple of summers up in a mountainous area north of New York City by approximately 100 miles, known as the Catskill Mountains. They used to call it other things. They used to call it the Jewish Alps, then they call it the Italian Alps, because right across the hill were the Poconos. Those are the Italian Alps, the Poconos. Then in the Monticello area, they called it the Jewish Alps. And the mountains were very low, but they were very pretty. And they built horrible, gaudy, disgusting hotels that were demented, what they built. But they started as cottage, but it was a lot of fun. So I worked as a busboy up there. And you cannot believe what you learn in a place like that over a period of a summer. I worked my way through through college, so to speak. And many people sent themselves through college, law school, medical school every summer. And you met people who were great and people who were real Madoffs. Let me put it that way. And the rest were just average in between hardworking schmoes who went away for 2 weeks a year and, suffered and died, and there's a tombstone somewhere that no one goes to. That's it. That's life. That's for most of us. But then on the extremes, you had Madoffs on one side and saints on the other. And if you were an open-minded kid, you can learn from people. So at some point when I'm in the mood, I'll tell you about some of those stories. I think some of them I wrote about in Psychological Nudity, like Fat Al's Tuna, where he made the tuna with his arm in a tureen. That's a classic by now. That's a Catskill Mountain story. But there are other stories. I have not yet told you, for example. I know how I got distracted with the Speedos and the guys with slightly long hair. Now, I didn't say very long hair. Very long hair is another story. I'm talking slightly long, which meant seedy. Any man who has there's a lot of men over 60 who think they look debonair, but they actually look like Bowery bums. They're trying to hide the baldness, the pattern baldness in the front. So they grow it long in the back. That's like a Madoff thing. They think it looks debonair somehow. They look like a stew bum, basically, who didn't get his hair cut. Looks like he's got to go for the 25-cent Salvation Army haircut. But he thinks he's debonair, looks in the mirror. Well, he's always looking at the back of his head. He don't look at the front anymore. He can't stand what he sees. He looks at the back. Guys like that who wear Speedos, there's something wrong in the head. You know that. Nobody I know ever wore a Speedo, except one person. In Shanks Paramount Hotel wore a pair of Speedos, and as I said, his hair was slightly seedy. Now, if I tell you who this person is and what he became years from now, you'll not believe it. And so I won't tell it to you because there's no point, and I'll get sued. 1-800-449-8255 is the phone number. Let's take your calls. Thomas in Chicago, welcome to the Savage Nation.
How you doing? I'm going to spend the weekend being a subversive American, but teach my kids more respect for the flag, more respect for the country, more respect for their adults, and to shun liberalism at every single turn.
Thomas, you see, unto itself, you are a suspect citizen of the new Obama state. Anyone who waves a flag on July 4th and reminds their children that it is about independence from Britain is unto himself a suspect citizen of the Janet Napolitano. You may wind up on a Homeland Security watch list for doing so.
We should never, ever forget that.
No, you should never forget that Janet Napolitano may put you on a watch list for waving an American flag on July 4th.
I swear to God, I hope nobody ever comes to my house asking me about that because...
No, let's stop right there. Well, wait till the Acorn workers arrive with clubs in their hand. Wait till Obama's goon squad arrives with truncheons and asks you about how many people are in your household. And you say no. Let's see if they pull you away and say you're violating the law.
Yeah, I can't wait for the census takers to show.
Yeah, that should be fun. They're going to be the highest rung of society, the census takers. You think they'll speak English?
I doubt it. I
doubt that the census takers will speak any English, unless it's English as a second language, not as a first language. That's all. All right, we said what we had to say. Play music for me now. It's about 1:45 already. Almost a whole hour knocked off already. Who's this?
That's what all the people say.
No, I'm not in the mood. This is a little too thoughtful. Let's play Dean Martin with not Volare. Give me any other Dean Martin other than Volare. No Volare, please. There is a restaurant in this town that I'm going to where a guy sings on what do they call those Moog synthesizers? No, that's from the 70s. What do they call it when he sings in a karaoke machine? Now, the food is quite good. It's an Italian restaurant. I made the mistake of the last time I went down there of eating in this place. I couldn't believe it. He sings on a karaoke machine, a big Italian guy with a 20-inch neck with tattoos. He's about 60 years old. I don't know how he wound up in this restaurant. Turn this off. They can't hear me and listen. I go in there. The food was very good, but this guy did not stop singing on the karaoke machine. Every Italian favorite known to the lower masses, this guy knew. It was plugged into the machine. And the women, the middle-aged women with too much perfume at other tables, apparently they were swooning over this guy. He must be the owner or the owner's brother-in-law, whatever. He did not stop for 2 hours. You could not digest a clam. You couldn't drink clam juice without gagging on it for the loudness. The loudness wasn't bad enough karaoke while you're eating. I have no idea what it. But on top of it all, at a volume that would make Michael Jackson's legs jump in a grave. You know what I'm saying? So I can't go back there. So I'm stuck. I am stuck. There's not one good Chinese joint in the entire state of Florida. Not one. You don't know what you're eating, what kind of meat it is. You know, it's white meat. It could be alligator. You don't know what you're eating down there. A possum. How do you know what you're eating in Florida? When they say Chinese and it's chicken, you don't know what you're getting in Florida. No such thing as Chinese food in Florida. Let's start with that. You want Chinese food, San Francisco, I know where to go. Yeah, I know where to go. I used to know where to go, but lately you can't get Chinese food in Florida. Forget about it. It doesn't exist. There is good Italian food in Florida because there's a lot of Italian Americans from New Jersey who understand food, who live down there, and they wouldn't take crap from the owner like they do in California, where they're afraid of everybody. The only people they're not afraid of here are patriots. Everyone else they're afraid of. Whatever they give them, they don't even know what they're eating, but they're sophisticated because they swirl the wine. Whenever you see two people swirling wine, you know that they're swine. I'll be right back.
On the air, online, and on the go. This is Talk 910 KNEW.
Yeah.